Hey, my name is James Johnson. I've been a wealth advisor for more than 20 years. I'm top of the table for MDRT, which is the oldest, largest, most prestigious financial planning in the industry. If you're qualified, that means you're in the top 5% of all planners in the world. And if you're top of the table, you're in the top 1%. I was a master lead advisor for Ed Slott for more than 9 years, which means I know a lot about qualified money. And I'm a father of two and a Rotarian. But what I really want to talk to you about today is I want to talk to you about something I say all the time, and that is you can fool all of the people all of the time if you have a large enough advertising budget. That's right, folks. Most of you are being fooled on a regular basis. It's called linguistic marketing. It says if we tell you the same stuff over and over and over again, you're going to believe it, whether it's true or whether it's not. And if everything you thought to be true turned out to not be true, how soon would you want to know? So I'm going to show you a couple little things right here that are going to help you to get a little bit of understanding of what I'm talking about. So what this is this is the total market returns. So the first thing I want you to get clear in your head is that average rates of return are a lie. And if you don't believe me, we have a video on average rate of returns. Just go down and check out that video on average rates of return. But I'm going to show you really quickly here. Now, I'm using the S&P total return between the years 2000 and 2024. I could use the Dow Jones. I could use the NASDAQ. I could use any one of these indexes over here. But I'm going to use the S&P between 2000 and 2024. Now, why did I pick those years? Because that's giving us some of the worst years in the history of the market and some of the best years in the history of the market. We had an 11-year run-up. We had 3 bad years followed by another bad year. It gives us just about everything we need to get an indication of what's really going on. So if we look here over this 25-year period of time, we can see here that the average rate of return that they reported was 9.36. So understand something, folks. The way they tell you the average rate of return is they merely take all of the numbers and they add them up over that 25-year period of time and they divide by 25. But see, if there was one negative number inside of there, the number is a lie. So the actual rate of return over that period of time was 7.7%. Now, if we went here and we changed this number to the year 2010, what you would find is this was called the lost decade. So it showed a 2.47%, which wasn't even keeping up with inflation, but then it had actual average rate of return of 0.41%. But you know what this chart doesn't show? It doesn't show taxes. It doesn't show cost, fees. And when we take a look at that, you actually lost money over that period of time. So let's go back to this 2024 over here, 25-year period of time. And let's just go out and let's say that we took a little bit different approach. And our approach was that we go put all of our money in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or some kind of security, which is what they're fooling us with. They're telling us this is the only way to do it. Well, I can tell you that the wealth creators and the legacy creators in the world are not just using stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. They diversify their money over different things. And if I told you you could grow your money tax-free, access up to 85% of it at any time tax-free, put it back if you want, get most of the gains of the market, never participate in losses, and when you died, it passed on to 2 to 3 times that amount tax-free, would you want to do that? And how much money would you put in that environment? And my answer is as much as they'll let me. Now, the cool thing about that is that's what is called maximum funded life insurance. There's a bazillion names for it. People put fancy names on it all the time. But the bottom line is it's maximum funded under TEFRA, DEFRA, TAMRA, 7702, 101A of the tax code. So ask yourself a question. Why is the IRS so concerned about how much money I put in a life insurance policy that they have a section in the tax code about that thick? Now, see, most of you think you have life insurance, but the reality is you don't. What you did is you bought the most amount of insurance using the least amount of money for the purpose of dying. I'm talking about buying the least amount of insurance using the most amount of money for the purpose of living. And when we do that, we're going to be able to use something called indexing. So what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to go up here and we're going to be able to put a floor. So over here, you can see right here, I put a floor of 0. Now, they're also going to put a cap. So they're going to say, well, you're not going to be able to make any more than 10%. Now, those caps happen to be at 13% right now, but I can tell you throughout the history of 2000 to today, that average was closer to 10. So that cap was around 10%. So over that period of time where they were showing that they were actually making a return of 9.36 and their actual was 7.7, we were actually making an actual of 8.12. And you'd say, well, that's not much. But let's not forget, we were doing that tax-free. Whereas all that money that was put over in the other one was probably growing tax deferred, meaning that it had a liability inside of it. Now check this out. If I went back here to 2010 and I ran that same chart over that lost decade, I made 6.79% while you were at 0.41. Now, if that doesn't get your goat, nothing will. So folks, remember that it's not always what they say it is, all right? They tell you that it's one thing when in fact it's the other. And the reality of the matter here is that people lie. They don't necessarily do it purposely. They lie out of ignorance. They lie out of trying to keep the money in their pocket. They lie for lots of reasons. But have you ever done the mathematics? And I ask you again, if you could grow your money tax-free, you could access up to 85% of it at any time tax-free. Put it back if you want. Get most of the gains of the market. Never participate in losses. And when you die, to pass on 2 to 3 times that amount tax-free. Would you want to do that? How much money would you put in that environment? And are you currently doing that? You can. Doesn't matter what level you're on. You can be doing this. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Put your comments down below. Love to hear your input on this. And if you want to know more, reach out. Remember to live like you're going to die tomorrow and plan like you're going to live forever, because you just might. You keep smiling and make it a great day.